I had this mower traded in on another mower that I'm selling. So my cost on this one is $0. But this one has major problems, so I'm going to try to work on it. It's got a good engine. This is a Craftsman, what they call their gold grade. I think the only thing better than that is a platinum, and it's 6.75 gross torque. I know this is upside down for you, but I'm reading it to you. It's 190 cc's. It is the biggest quantum engine that Craftsman made. Since it is a quantum, I'm assuming it's probably 10 or 15 years old. The kill cable does work. I've got that case on there to prop this mower back. If you saw my last video on changing a mower blade, you know that's how I do this. I do not like to turn them on their side, even though some folks say you can do that, as long as the carburetor is facing up towards the sky. But once you start turning this blade around, even with the mower turned that way, you're going to get oil and gas moving in places you don't really want it to go. And the project here that we're going to be getting into is this deck is rusted through right up there, and it's just too unstable. I don't know if you can see that moving there, so it's pretty shot. So what I'm going to do is try and save this engine and put it on another deck, and I'm hoping that this front piece here, this plastic piece, is going to fit on the other deck. We will find that out together, whether it's going to fit or not. But the bottom line is this engine has to come off this deck, because this deck is not really usable because it's rusted through. So I'm going to try and save the plastic piece here in the front, put it on another mower. I may save this plastic piece in the back and put it on another mower someday. The blade is pretty much shot, as you can see. Very dull, broken off on that side, and it's worn off on that side too. But what happens oftentimes with these mowers when you try to switch engines is these screws, the engine mounting bolts, have been on there so long, they're so kind of corroded, even though they're aluminum, I believe. Maybe I've got one here. I can show you that. Like, here's one. This is an engine mounting bolt. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see if this, yep, okay, so it's a ferrous metal. So anyway, that's what happens. These things get rusty, and they stick to the deck, and they stick inside the aluminum body where they go in. They get kind of rusty and corroded, and you start twisting on these, and they snap off and leave the screw portion in the engine block, and then you got serious problems. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with this one, so we're going to find out together. But the first thing that has to happen to get this engine off is I've got to get the blade off. And once I remove the engines, then you've got to, get the cable off. Kill cable, set it aside. The pull cord's already off because they had broken it, so there may be a piece stuck up in there. Probably is, but at least I don't have to worry about the pull cord getting tangled in anything when I remove the engine, because it's not there. So let's go to work on moving this engine to another deck. So let me set this in the holster here, make sure it's still recording good and you've got a decent picture. And I'm sorry about photographing into the light, but I don't have much of a choice. I guess, let me try closing that garage door. Maybe that'll help. That's much better. When I try to photograph here so I get ventilation for me, unfortunately, shooting into the light, it's just, you can't really see much. Let me turn my little fan on. Get a little circulation in here. It is October, so the temperature is pretty nice today. But I still need a little ventilation in here. So let's get this blade off. As you can see, I've got my 2x4 block, a little 1x. I've got my C-clamp onto that, and I'm going to go ahead and move this blade to where it's touching. And I'm going to take off the spark plug cable, just for safety. Set it aside. And I'm going to use my big old breaker bar that I got from Harbor Freight and get this blade off so I can lift the engine out of the deck. Blade's got to be off. Let's see, that's not going to work. We find a 5/8 socket. This is a pretty, there's a 9/16. Where'd my 5/8 go? Okay, so there's a 5/8. That fits on there. My word of advice to all you home mechanics is don't use an impact wrench on these 5/8 screws, because they're so shallow. You're not going to get the depth on this thing to where you run the risk of it slipping and then spinning around real fast, that impact wrench, and grinding off those corners. And then it's really difficult to get off, if not impossible sometimes if you damage it. So get you a big breaker bar with lots of leverage, slip it on there. Now watch how easy this is, because you got all that leverage and it's stable. It's not flying around like it is on an impact wrench. It's slow, and then once you've made a couple of turns, then you can come on here and just spin your little thing by hand, or you can use an electric drill. Let's try that. I think I've got yeah. This is a 1/2-inch adapter I can put on my electric drill, and then we'll put this on there. We'll just zip this thing out because it's loose now. I'm not worried about stripping the screw head. Yeah, this comes right out. All right. You do need to be careful if this blade doesn't fall off and hit your arm or something, but this thing's so rusty, and I've been on there for probably 15 years. I'm gonna have to pull it to get it off. There we go. And again, this blade is pretty shot. Sometimes I keep these just to use in case I want to test a mower for a 20-inch, because then you can cut this down and make your little 20-inch blade. I'll worry about that later. But I did get the blade off, and now I'm going to go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way. That's been wound around here. Because I may want to take this adapter off. I doubt I will, but this stuff needs to come off anyway. either now or when you put it on the other mower. Sometimes I'll get a pocket knife or needle nose pliers and just start pulling at this stuff. The adapter's in good shape. A lot of times if people put these blades on wrong, they don't make sure that they're attached to that pin there and that pin there and the little bow tie thing here in the middle. If it's not nice and flush and you tighten it down, it's going to be jumping around and tear up the adapter. So make sure that it's nice and flush there and installed properly before you tighten it down and try and use your mower. I think I am going to have to get my pocket knife out and try to get this stuff off. I'm going to go ahead and get it off now instead of doing it later after it's on the other deck. Alright, so that's coming off pretty good. And by the way, this, whoa, is that a critter? I've had black widows hide behind these crankshafts, and one of the videos I did shows one pop out right when I'm doing this kind of stuff. I almost get my hand. Scared the heck out of me. But this is the large crankshaft. I want to say 7/8 inch. And so that's good. This is going to be a good tough mower. Gold grade by Craftsman. 190 cc Briggs and Stratton. All right, so now I need to get my wire brush. I think that's brass, but hopefully it's good enough. And I'm going to take these 3 screws out and loosen them. I've learned the hard way, what you never want to do is have this screw be the last one on, because the engine drops back and you can crack your engine case. That happened to me a long time ago, and I've learned the lesson. So now you don't have to learn that lesson. So the last one you want to have on here is either this one or this one when you unscrew these. So this one will come out and then this one, or this one will come out and then this one. But don't have this be your last screw holding the engine on. Let me hit that with JB Blaster down here. There. Oh, right in the face. And there we go. And then I'm going to hit it up top where these screws are in the engine block. Man, that stuff is powerful. Maybe I should turn the force down a little bit. I think it's adjustable to how fast it comes out. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to hit these up here where the screws come out. You can see these two. The one over there, you can't see the threads. You have to shoot it down into the hole. So there we go. Let me wipe the JB Blaster off my face. If I got it on there. Didn't get any on my glasses, but I think it got me. Very expensive facial there, or inexpensive, just a little squirt of JB Blaster right in the face. Okay, so I've still got this here. I don't really need that here anymore because the blade's off and it's just in my way. I'm going to move that out of the way. And okay guys, I need you to say a little prayer, cross your fingers, that when I put the wrench on here, that these don't shear off, because I'll be very sad if that happens. But let's give it a try. If I get a lot of resistance, I may let this mower sit for a while. I'll let the JB Blaster kind of work its way in there. So I'm looking for a 1/2 inch socket. think that may be a half. Now, this is an impact wrench, but it'll fit on there. And hopefully I can break the seals on here without them twisting off. So let's give it a try. Oh, it moved, thank goodness. Okay, let's try this one. That's when they don't move that you're gonna have problems. Oh, that one moved, yay! And now the bottom one. Yay, that was great. So these are gonna come out, I think, and I won't be twisting them off inside the engine block. That's a disaster. You don't want that to happen. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, as I said earlier, I do not want this to be the last one holding it in. So this is going to come out first, this will come out second, I'll leave that one up there. So let's see if we can get this coming out without twisting off. There we go. That's going pretty good. Now we'll do this one over here. After I've done a few turns, I can probably put my electric wrench on here and get them moving that way. Once these screws come out, then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to kind of hold this engine and lift it out. Once the final screw comes out, it's going to want to fall down, so you kind of have to be supporting it. If you got help, great. I don't have help when you lift the engine out. So let's see if I can use a wrench here. Again, I'm being real careful. Okay, so that one's coming out. Let's get through this one. Whoa. Let's see. See, I almost made that mistake. This one has to come out when you got the mower tilted back like this. So I don't screw up. I want to get that one out of there now. Okay, so it's out. And now I'm going to get this one out. And this one is going to be the last one to go. I'm going to go ahead and put a few turns on it. You can see the engine starting to drop back. And this one now is going to come all the way out. Okay, so the only engine mounting screw holding this engine in is right there. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to hold this engine, try to support it with one hand. I'm going to get this one to come out. Right. So this engine is loose now, and I'm going to move it away from the deck and set it on this little table I've got down here. Show you. Let me show you the situation now. And I'll turn the camera off, and I'll come when you come back. I'll have the new deck up here. So there it is. There's my engine, and it's a nice one. And there's the old deck with the horrible rusted through area right there. And that's why I can't use this deck, but I'll be able to use parts off of it, and I'm hoping this piece here will fit on the deck I'm going to put it on, because that one, the one I have, doesn't have this piece. It was too damaged and torn up. So we're switching and swapping parts out, and there's the engine. I've got to take the kill cable off, but that'll show up in the next video.